Very exciting.
It's exciting.
That's a dies irae, right?
Yes.
Which is normally is part of a requiem.
Yeah.
There's some very famous dies iraes, aren't there? Yeah. Verdi Requiem, yeah. Benjamin Britten's War Requiem, for example. Lots
Rachmaninoff.
Rachmaninoff, of course. And this is Honegger's version. Really exciting.
Exciting. The intensity in the music is fantastic, and then the life that Herbert gives it to it when sitting, conducting, and really. Yeah. Challenging the orchestra, bringing out everything they really wanted to play.
Yeah. But you're right about those colours and those orchestrations in there. They're very captivating, aren't they? But it's great, isn't it, when you discover something. There's so much music out there. It's impossible to know it all. Yes. We're always going to be discovering music.
Yes, and it's also like nowadays, like people are discovering the music by women. Mm-hmm. I find it so important because so many women have been forgotten in all these years while we were there. We were always here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Nowadays, there's so much new music coming.
And of course, programming has changed because of this over the last few years or
Absolutely, really, and gladly so. I mean, there's so much to discover. I totally agree with that. And you never have to give up.
What is it about conductors that when they get on the podium, often, because a lot of conductors who've been old, look old and act old, and then they get on the podium, and somehow it's this sort of life force comes up through them from the podium, and they're a different person all of a sudden. Yeah. Why is that?
Well, I don't know, but we spoke actually a little bit about it with Herbert, and he said that when you have lived so many years as he has, and he has a relationship with ongoing orchestras, he knows the potential of the orchestra, and the orchestra knows the potential they can reach with the conductor, and they all aim for that. We want to reach this level, and therefore from first minute they want to do that, and I think that's why there is relationship with conductors in orchestra. They know what they can do and lift themselves to new heights, and I think that gives life.
And of course, he does not have to prove anything anymore. When sometimes you have a young conductor coming, he is actually still being judged by the orchestra before.
No, that's absolutely true. But I find it quite moving seeing Blomstedt up there at that age. I mean, it sounds weird, but also because of his skill, his musicality, that then kind of melts away and you forget.
Yes.
But you do sometimes have to remind yourself that man is 95 years old. I mean, I think we're all kind of hoping that we're still doing stuff at 95, aren't we? But it's such a big undertaking. It's not. You don't take on being a conductor lightly. No. You've got 90 people in front of you. Yeah. You're in charge. This music is challenging, and yet there he is, totally in command of it.
And he just wanted to do it because he had this was his first concert in Sweden, only concert in Sweden on his 95th anniversary, and he really wanted to do this. Yeah. And his sketch, his diary is enormous, enormous. He said, "Now where are you going from?" And then I go to Berlin Philharmonic, and then I go back to Lucerne for a week, then I go 3 weeks to Japan, and then I go there and then there. And he said, and he had a little bit of an injury, and he said, but in 3 years' time, when I'm 98, then I'm in full swing again. Yes. So that's a fantastic statement. But that's life,
But that's why perhaps he's done so well, is because he's not retiring. He's not just going to sit down and give up. With you, Carmen, if you get a commission, are you interested in what the other pieces are going to be in the concert?
Yes.
And why?
Yes, because you're also an addition to the program, so it's really beautiful to write something that's also that's not also bothering the program. If you have a very quick piece after you and you write a very quick piece yourself, it can become too much of the same.
Right.
and you will not win from the past.
Yeah.
So I always think it's nice to take the rest of the pieces in consideration.
Yeah.
Also, because if you write an accompanying piece to an already existing piece, like I have a small violin solo miniature that's an introduction to the Brahms Violin Concerto, it can be programmed quite easily, and it can be programmed much more often because it also is an addition to the Brahms Concerto.
Yeah, but how do you think about when you as a composer, if you come to an office like mine and I would like to commission something from you, do you want to be left alone saying I would like to write my own music, don't give me any guidelines, or do you want guidelines?
I love guidelines, the more the better, because then the less I have to choose from, and then the less time I can spend just picking and just thinking about everything that I can do, because it's such a big candy box and all the candies, they taste amazing. But sometimes it's nice to just have a guidelines like or a set theme or an emotion.
Yeah, because we always talk about that when we do the plan programs.
Yes.
That we talk about the composer. Should we commission a piece by this composer? What kind of piece should we like to have? And maybe so that's good to hear that that you.
No, I personally, I really like it. Like with the cello concerto, they ask me for long lines, but to also give the soloist something to work with.
Yeah.
And that's something that I really like to do.
Yeah.
The real pleasure of that is seeing Blomstedt there, 95, totally in control.
Yes, and enjoying Brahms. He's done it probably hundreds of times.
You've been in charge of this orchestra for 20 years.
Yeah.
Do you still get the thrill seeing your guys doing that?
Yes, I do. You know, you live with this artistic planning, you live with the dreams and how you present the music, you talk about it, and then to see it come through in the evening of the concert, I mean, that's the ultimate climax. So still, I go to every concert. I've done for, I think, I don't know how many thousands of concerts I've been to, listening to the orchestra. And I think it's also important that I can also feel that the orchestra trusts, maybe that they ask how was the concert, and that you talk to the conductor. You're in the loop being there, so I really enjoy being there.
And one of the things that happens when you've been in an organisation for a long time is you see the new generation of musicians come through.
Yes, it's fantastic, and in the orchestra now we have looking for a new second trombone player. And the one that we are testing now is the son of the second trumpet player.
Amazing.
It was amazing to see that pride, you know, father and son in the same orchestra.
Yeah,
it's
and under normal circumstances, that would make a number of people in the orchestra feel old. But Herbert Blomstedt beats everybody,
he beats everybody.
so they still feel young.
Yes, absolutely. That's fantastic.